So that's Tamar's story. So when we consider Tamar's profile, who was this woman? We read in scripture that this woman was a princess. She was young, beautiful, she was innocent, and she was naive. She was naive. And what happened to her, as we read, was not her fault. She suffered violence, but it was not her fault. Now, the first thing that I want to be sure that we understand is that sometimes you have to grow through a situation that is difficult even when it's not your fault. Some of these things that we are not always honest with ourselves about was not our fault in the first place. Yet we carry guilt. Guilt will keep you from growing. It will stop you from growing. We carry shame. Shame will stop you from growing. We can know who we are. These are the things that Tamar was. We can know who we are, but sometimes events in our lives can strip us of the person that we knew. And so then what happens is, rather than growing, we start to be what happened to us. We let that particular snapshot of our lives dictate and define who we are and where we will go. I am Tamar. I see myself in the mirror. I no longer see princess. I no longer see young. I don't see beautiful, innocent, naive. I don't see any of that. All I see is victim. I am a victim. So she was doing a good thing. And then what we see is that sometimes bad things happen to good people. Where is God in all of that? That's the question. Where is God in this story? A lot of people would say, that's so awful that I can't see God. Well, the truth is, people are asking that all the time. Every single day. We may think that people don't come to church for this, that, or the other, but the answer really is that they can't find an answer. They don't know where God is in their story. So when we think about Tamar's story, we know that she was betrayed and she was raped, robbed of innocence. She was unprotected, even by her father. Because David, the king, his response, I don't know. I guess we would have to ask some fathers in here. If someone did this to your baby, and if the response was that David was furious, but you know, it doesn't say much else. You see, we can get angry about a lot of things. And I mean, no, it's okay to get angry. I mean, I would be concerned if people didn't get angry, especially the current climate right now, you know, in our communities with our African-American males being murdered. How can that not make you angry? So, of course, anger is a real emotion. But there are some things that we can do when it comes to our anger. Channel it in a positive way, but do something. This young lady has just been raped. Do something. That's part of the problem that America can't seem to understand. Is that you enslaved these people for years. Yet there was no consequence. That's a problem. It's okay to talk about reconciliation, but why do we need to reconcile in the first place? We need to have a conversation. Who did what and why? What about retribution? And what about this, this, and this? But we don't want to talk about that all the time. What's going to happen now that Daddy, if I'm Tamar, Daddy David, she feels unprotected. Absalom, her brother, did, however, take revenge. If you read, continue to read 2 Samuel. Her brother, Absalom, he did take revenge. He killed Amnon. He did. And so then she was not married, no children. She was humiliated and filled with despair. The text told us that she lived as a desolate woman. She made a choice on what to do with her situation. which is what we all get to do. We get to make a choice. Now, we can have an issue, we can face that issue a certain way, and then we can lay right there and die. Or we can grow. We cannot always control the situations that happen, but we can control our response to the situation. So what am I going to do now? What do I do with this situation?